Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Zaron.
Hey, Elizabeth.
How are you?
Doing pretty well.
You good?
Looking forward to seeing you this week.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
That didn't seem very emphatic.
Good to see you.
Seemed like a kind of like a checklist.
Yeah,
I said it.
How are you? How are you feeling? Listen, you know what's ridiculous?
I do.
Tell me.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
I saw something and I thought this will be a fun thing to ask Elizabeth because it's ridiculous. There are 6 U.S. state capitals west of Los Angeles.
West of Los Angeles.
Isn't that wild? You just don't. I didn't think about that. So, can you name all 6?
Juneau.
Correct.
Honolulu.
Correct.
What's the Oregon one?
Salem. Correct.
What's Washington?
Olympia. Correct.
Okay, what's that for?
Yeah, 4 of 6. 2 more.
That are west of
Los Angeles.
Sacramento?
Yes, look at you. That's the trick one.
West of LA.
Mm-hmm.
What's Idaho?
I think it's Boise.
Is it?
No.
I don't know. West of LA. I don't know. Which one am I missing?
Carson City, Nevada.
Carson City's west of LA?
Barely. So if you go,
how is that?
If you go down by
possible?
degrees west of Greenwich, England, right? So you go with the latitude.
Yeah.
It is actually the longitude rather. It is Carson City is at 118.2817 and LA is at 118.2437.
Oh, get out of
it's
town.
Barely. Like we're talking like 30 miles at most.
At most.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe like more like 10 miles.
I wouldn't have even thought that they were like on the same.
Oh, no, I know this because when I was young, I bought because, I've often mentioned how I wanted to be a con man. So the magician and actor Harry Anderson from Night Court, he had a book, right? And in his book, he tells this story about conning people in a bar by saying, which was further west, Reno, Nevada, or Los Angeles? And so that's why I remembered the Carson City because I know where Carson City is located.
Reno's west of Carson City.
No.
Slightly, right?
No, the way Carson City is like a little bit further west than Reno because Reno, you have to come down out of the mountains where Carson City's kind of butted right up against the mountains.
Okay, yeah, I'm imagining the map right now.
And so it was a difference. And then so what ended up happening is the guy was like one of the bar bets before there was Google and you could look it up. So they had like one of those encyclopedias in the bar to settle bar bets. And so he pushed it around to the bartender to announce who had won. And then he said that Reno was further west than Los Angeles and then the guy had to pay off. And then inside the encyclopedia was the money he had slipped the bartender to say it was reversed. And so I always remembered that. And that's how I remember Carson City because I know it's just a little bit west. And so I was like, okay, boom. So there you go. There's all 6. Ridiculous, huh?
That is ridiculous.
So I thought it kind of fun.
Man, maps. Ridiculous.
I know. Fun with maps.
Fun with maps. Do you want to know what else is ridiculous?
Please. I love it.
Planning and planning and planning and practicing and practicing and practicing and then having it fall apart.
Oh.
No. This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
Oh, you damn right.
I am so right. Because we never talk about murder, really, or especially heinous crimes. Patterns emerge. So I mentioned this with Randy Lanier, I think. Some of the details repeat themselves across crimes.
Oh, yeah.
So there are the drug smugglers like Randy, fast cars, fast boats, outrageous behaviors, the art forgers, right? Audacious fakes, gullible buyers, shady dealers. Then there are the
a regrettable use of talent.
Yes. Then there are the con artists of old.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that they're about to come into money and they've invented something amazing that will basically print money, sometimes literally. We have the Ponzi schemers.
Oh, yeah.
Investments that are too good to be true because they aren't. They tell wild lies to hide their monetary shell game. And then we have the heist crews. They plan, they scheme, they dig, they wear wigs.
They have to trust each other.
They split the money. They don't trust each other. So what separates each from the other are the characters. So the people are what make the crimes ridiculous.
Oh, I like that.
Sometimes we don't tell stories about these types of crimes because the perp is really like mentally ill or a severe drug addict. That's punching down to laugh at their ridiculous behavior.
No, we don't like to do that.
No. And like sometimes we get charmed by a ridiculous perp pulling like a basic crime. So like, remember Pretty Pants Bandit?
Oh, yeah.
The name is what sold me.
Totally.
So today I have a heist for you. And I was actually positive we'd done this one before.
Why?
Well, it was called at one point the heist of the century, like so many that we've discussed. And the venue seemed familiar, like the target. But I searched through our case file archive of episodes, through my own notes, nothing. But it just hits many of the notes that we've talked about before. But this one has characters.
Oh.
And like many heists, it's super cinematic. And one of the things that I loved about, remember Hatton Gardens, the British heist that I covered long ago, was that Guy Ritchie-like cast of characters.
Yeah, oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I have such a cast of characters today.
Yes.
It's like the mid-century Boston equivalent.
Oh, my God, I hope they have nicknames.
Oh, yeah. So who is this gang, right?
Who is this gang, Elizabeth?
We're going to start with Joseph Big Joe McGinnis.
Yes, they have nicknames.
So Joseph McGinnis, he ran a liquor store in the Roxbury section of Boston.
Okay.
And was widely regarded in law enforcement circles as like one of the dominant figures in the Boston underworld.
Okay. And from what I understand from watching my recent Vietnam movies, that used to be a black part of town. So he was
really?
He was selling, yeah.
Yeah, well, he had previous convictions for robbery, narcotics violations. All these other like underworld sources said that he was totally capable of planning and executing a complex and ambitious heist. Then we have Joseph James Specs O'Keefe.
Yes. I assume he wears glasses.
Yeah, Specs, as you can guess, wore glasses. Still, he was one of the gang's primary strong-arm men.
Oh,
so he was
strongman
valued
glasses.
for his nerve, his experience with weapons. He had a track record of like pulling off these really dangerous criminal operations.
Was he like a Korea war vet?
Specs O'Keefe. No, because we're not there yet.
Oh.
Specs O'Keefe had a reputation for courage under pressure among bad guys. And he had a long criminal record. He had convictions for illegal gambling, other offenses.
By the way, what era are we in?
We're at late 40s, early 50s.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to get to that. So Stanley Gus Gusiora, Gus was fearless. He was known as the enforcer.
Yeah.
So like Specs O'Keefe, he had this really crazy criminal record. He was known for his experience with violence, with weapons. Those two, Gus and Specs, had worked together on a bunch of like criminal enterprises, and they were seen as this natural team. They were both like cool-headed, experienced. They were reliable when things went wrong.
Good to have two cool-headed enforcers.
Yeah. Then we have Henry Baker.
Okay.
Henry Baker doesn't have a cool nickname.
Can we call him Henry the Baker?
Henry the Baker. He was a career criminal. His adult life was just like punctuated by, spells in jail.
Okay.
At the time of the heist that I'm going to tell you about, he had only recently been released from a prison in Norfolk, Massachusetts, where he'd been serving 2 concurrent 4 to 10 year terms for breaking and entering, larceny, and possession of burglary tools.
Yeah.
So he got out on parole.
True pro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got paroled 5 months before the robbery I'm going to talk about. So his parole status made his participation in this heist really reckless.
Yeah. He
really
must have really
reckless.
needed the score.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. We're going to get into that.
Maybe emotionally.
I think emotionally.
He needed to get back on the horse.
Yeah. So then we have Vincent James Costa. He was the lookout.
Okay.
He got plugged in because he was the main guy's brother-in-law.
Okay.
Adolph Jazz Maffey.
Are you kidding me?
Jazz
Maffey.
I couldn't find out how he got his nickname, but it made me think about how when I want to get my dog Monty all riled up, I call him Jazz Cat.
Does he respond?
Oh yeah, he goes nuts. I go Jazz Cat, and he like starts running around, and yeah.
Oh, it's like roughhousing, not like doing jazz hands.
No. Yeah, he like skedaddles and he runs and he jumps on things and he chases Rosie but Jazz Cat. So maybe that's what happened to this guy. Yeah, when you said jazz,
his mom would say it, and he
would
would run around
just
in the
spaz
backyard.
out. He was your basic, solid Boston hard man.
Okay.
And then we have Michael Vincent Vinny Geegan.
Nice.
So Vinny.
Classic. Yeah.
He's our next team. It's not an original. nickname.
Yeah, it's still a good one. If you know of Vinny, I mean...
Vinny. He palled along with some of the other guys. Like, that's how he got pulled into it. This name, James Ignatius Faraday. He's also a part of the team. No nickname, but his government name makes me think that he looked, as my grandmother used to say, like he had a map of Ireland on his face. James Ignatius. So he'd done time for armed robbery before. Not a criminal greenhorn.
Yeah.
Then we have Thomas Francis Sandy Richardson.
Sandy Richardson.
As our next guest.
That sounds like a 50s sitcom star, like female, like the wife. Sandy Richardson.
Sandy was basically James Faraday 2.0.
Okay.
Like they pulled robberies together. They had done time together. They were best buds.
So a lot of these guys brought somebody with them.
Yeah. And that takes us to the driver, Joseph Sylvester Barney Banfield.
Barney Banfield.
He was called Barney because he was a large purple dinosaur. No, I have no idea why. Was it a reference to racing legend Barney Oldfield?
That's what I was wondering.
Banfield, Oldfield.
Totally.
Who knows?
It seems like it's right there.
Yeah. And
he's a driver. I mean,
who knows? But to be completely transparent, who cares?
Oh.
Put it there.
Your motto.
So Banfield, he was known as an exceptionally skilled driver, and that made him invaluable during getaways, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So his specialty had been burglary rather than armed robbery, but he was known to carry a gun. And that brings us to the star of the show.
We got a star.
Anthony Fats Pino.
Fats Pino.
Fats, a large man, was a seasoned Boston hoodlum with this long reputation as an expert, quote, case man. So someone who meticulously studied targets before striking. He was born in Italy, naturalized U.S. citizen, had this long criminal record, deep roots in the Boston underworld.
Okay.
And he had a rare talent for studying a target, identifying the vulnerabilities, and then coming up with a very precise plan of attack. According to one gang member who spoke with the Boston Globe later on, Pino, quote, had no equal and was very energetic when it comes to stealing.
I might have called him Pinot Grigio.
Dude, the guy really liked and respected his energy.
Yeah, totally. Why not? It sounds like he's a fun cat.
Yeah, the hoodlum in me recognizes the hoodlum in you. So Fats... Fats Pino had been a principal suspect in a bunch of major robberies and burglaries in Massachusetts. He had been surveilling profitable Boston locations for years, and he had fixed his ambitions on the Brinks building there.
So he was just always window shopping targets,
always.
Essentially.
Yeah, he was casing the joint perpetually. So he saw the Brinks building, and he recognized that it regularly held enormous amounts of cash. And that the security was like formidable on paper.
Yeah.
But it had really observable routines and vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
So you were asking, where in time are we? The initial planning for all this took place in 1947. 47. Okay. Like, hey, Wikipedia, what was going on in Boston in 1947?
Elizabeth, what was going on?
No, ask Wikipedia.
Well, Elizabeth and Wikipedia, inform me.
So the Boston Trailer Park was established. I don't know what that is, but I didn't feel like looking it up.
Okay.
Old John Hancock Building was built.
Yeah, I do know that.
John F. Kennedy became U.S. representative for the 11th Congressional District.
Right, his first election, right? That's when he gets elected and he joins Congress.
Wally's nightclub went into business.
Okay.
Well, hooray. Mayor James Michael Curley was imprisoned. And John Hines became the acting mayor. And so I scanned some stuff about Mayor Curley. I think he may deserve an episode.
Really?
He served 4 terms as mayor of Boston between 1914 and 1950.
4 different terms? And obviously not concurrent. I mean, they were just like sporadic.
Yeah, he ran for mayor in every election for which he was legally qualified.
Oh, like that.
He was busted twice for bribery.
Okay.
During his he did time during his last term as mayor.
During his term.
He also served a single term as governor of Massachusetts. Like, the guy's a legend. Anyway.
There's no law in the book that says mayor can't be in prison.
Right. So anyway, that was Boston when Fats was scoping the scene for a heist target.
Okay, I like it.
So he settled on Brinks and he got to work. But in 1948, after months of early planning, Fats discovered that Brinks had relocated to a new building at 165 Prince Street. So they didn't abandon the scheme.
Okay.
Fats and his associates pivoted and they started a fresh, very painstaking surveillance of the new location.
Okay. A lot of more sandwiches and cars and bus stops.
Oh, yeah. A lot of like scribbled notes in pencil. So Fats studied the building's window lighting patterns to figure out when staff were in there,
smart.
when the vault was open, when the fewest guards were on duty. And so he figured out that the optimal window for the robbery was just after 7 p.m., when the vault would still be unlocked for the evening count, but staff members would be reduced.
Okay.
So the gang's prep was like extraordinary in its detail. Over a period of a bunch of months, members of the crew physically broke into the building on multiple occasions after business hours, not to steal, but to study.
Just to see, like, is this window rigged or something?
Yeah, they just got in there. They mapped the interior.
Okay.
They learned the layout of the counting room and the vault. Then they pulled one of the most audacious elements I've ever seen in one of these operations.
Ooh.
They removed each lock from the building's doors one by one. And then they had duplicate keys made for each.
They swapped the locks.
Uh-huh. And then they replaced the locks before anyone noticed. So they sneak in, take the lock out, get a key made, bring the lock back. Now they have a key to that door.
So that's crazy.
This is on the level of those like who built scale models of the insides of the vaults and such.
Totally, but this was like, I mean, you're putting back the original lock, so their key still works.
Their key still works.
But just for the time while the lock is being replaced, or you're being
but they're in there. They're in there when they're keying it. They're doing it that night.
Oh, they're keying the lock and making the fake while they're
yes.
Wow.
So they could just walk through like they own the place when the time came.
Got a janitor's key ring.
Specs and Gus, they got their mitts on the plans for the building's alarm system. And they put them back before the absence was even detected. This was the major thing there. It gave them intimate knowledge of how to avoid triggering any alerts. They conducted multiple full practice runs in the building in the months leading up to the robbery, coming in to after hours to walk the route, practice their timing, identify any remaining obstacles. So they didn't use a scale model. They practiced in the real thing.
Completely. This is amazing.
By the time they acted, they'd planned and rehearsed for roughly 2 years. 2 years.
They did so many walkthroughs. I wonder why they're on this show.
Right? Well, okay, so they stole 2 cars in prep for this. One was a green 1949 Ford stake body truck with a canvas top. That's what they were going to use to carry the loot. The other one was a sedan that they were going to use to block any cops who gave chase.
Oh, smart.
Both were stolen from locations in like the greater Boston area.
Okay.
Let's take a break there. They're prepped, they're ready, and when we return, they strike. Yeah. All right, Zaron.
Yo, Elizabeth.
So we've got this rogues gallery setting up to burgle the Brink's building in Boston.
And one of the most meticulous and just downright like professional crews we've come across.
Yes. They have gone above and beyond in their prep. They didn't just plan in the abstract. They ran scrimmages. They did beta testing.
Totally. It feels like something, if you were to go criminal, this is how you would do it. You know, you want to get everything absolutely right. Totally.
Totally. So by early January 1950, the gang was ready.
Okay.
But even then, they didn't pull it off on the first attempt. According to later accounts, the crew made at least 5 aborted runs to the building on the days leading up to January 17th, 1950.
5 times they thought they were going to pull the job, and then they aborted?
Yeah, and each time they stopped because conditions weren't exactly right. They didn't want to take a chance.
The vibe's not right.
Yeah, the vibe was off. So their lookout, Vincent Costa, that's Fats's brother-in-law.
Okay.
He was going to position himself in a room in a tenant building across Prince Street with a flashlight. He would watch through a window for the vault to be open, and when he signaled the all clear, the crew would proceed.
Oh, smart.
So on the evening of January 17th, 1950, members of the gang assembled in the Roxbury section of Boston. Joseph Banfield, the driver, took the wheel of the stolen Ford truck. In the rear of the truck, we had Fats Pino, Specs O'Keefe, Baker, Faraday, Jazz Maffey, Gasciora, Geegan, and Richardson.
quite the crew.
Yeah. Joseph McGinnis, the financial and logistics guy, he was present in the getaway vehicle.
Okay.
And Costa was already in his post across the street. So at about 6:55 p.m., Costa saw the vault being opened and gave the flashlight signal. So the truck moves into position near the Prince Street entrance. 7 members of the gang, Specs O'Keefe, Gus Giora, Baker, Jazz Maffey, Geegan, Faraday, and Richardson, they got out and approached the building. Each of them had on a navy peacoat and a chauffeur's cap that looked just like the uniforms worn by Brink's employees. Oh. It's a classic look,
It's
though.
really sharp.
Timeless cool.
I've been looking for one recently, a peacoat.
A peacoat?
Yeah.
I love a peacoat. It's very like beatnik, proto-hipster, Lower East Side artist moment. And P.S. describing a fashion look as a moment is like nails on a chalkboard for me, which is why I just did that. I like to hurt myself.
I really appreciate that.
So they had these rad outfits on, but they were also wearing gloves and rubber-soled shoes.
Tasteful white gloves like you're going to the theater?
Sparkly gloves. They're elbow gloves.
Long ones,
theater gloves.
Theater.
Rubber-soled shoes to muffle their footsteps.
Ooh.
And they were wearing rubber Halloween masks. To be more specific, they wore Captain Marvel masks, which basically, I saw a picture, and it looked like Tony Curtis wearing makeup. So they were in like Some Like It Hot cosplay. That's exactly what it looks like. So each man was carrying a .38 caliber revolver.
Okay. This is very much giving like Kubrick's The Killing. I'm liking this.
Yeah.
Where they rob with the clown mask.
Right.
They rob the racetrack.
Or Point Break.
Or Point Break.
You know when Point Break came out?
1991,
That's
Elizabeth.
correct.
Yeah.
You are correct.
With
I'm
the
sorry,
dead
you need
presidents.
to answer in the form of a question.
What is 1991?
Perfect. Thank you. So using their copied keys, they passed silently through the building's locked doors, made their way to the counting room where 5 Brink's employees were at work.
5, okay.
The employees were caught totally off guard. The masked men herded them together, bound their hands behind their backs with ropes, sealed their mouths with adhesive tape, and then they forced them to lie face down on the floor. No one was struck or physically harmed beyond the restraint. So the robbers then worked quickly and efficiently. They stuffed cash, coins, checks, securities, money orders into these 14 large canvas bags that they had.
14. That's a lot of haul.
Yeah, things were going smoothly. Or were they?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Zaron, close your eyes.
Yes, my eyes are closed.
I want you to picture it. You are Sherman Smith, a cashier at the Brink's Vault. You and 2 other cashiers, as well as 2 messengers, are currently bound and gagged on the floor of the vault while a crew of guys in very strange-looking masks raid the room around you. They made their way into the vault in silence, taking you all off guard. As they directed you all to the floor, they took your sidearms. There's a rack of shotguns along the wall, but you all realized it would be a death wish to make for them when the robbers entered the room with their .38s. So here you are, on the floor now, as they scoop up their loot, shoving money into bags, whispering to each other, knocking over strong boxes, while you do your best to memorize an accurate description of the criminals. You note that they are all about the same height. You're trying desperately to hear them say one of their names, but all you can make out are short, muttered, brief directions to each other. The crew are in the process of trying to open a very large strongbox. You know, since you just counted it, that it contains $1 million. That's a whole lot of smackaroos. They're having trouble with this one, though. It's a toughie, one of the best you have. Just then, a buzzer sounds. The man you suspect is the gang leader stomps over to you and rips the adhesive tape from your mouth. He rolls you over on the floor and asks, "What does that buzzer mean?" You stay calm. The buzzer sounds again. You tell him it means someone wants to get in here. The buzzer sounds, and it's the only sound in the room. All work has stopped. The robber asks you what happens if no one answers. You tell him the person may get suspicious and notify the cops. Now, you know this probably isn't true. Your guess is that it's Bill Manter, the garage man from the second floor where the trucks are kept. He has to come talk to the messengers sometimes about transportation. And you know he probably won't get suspicious since he tends to do this when you are at your busiest up here at night and you all generally ignore him for a while. He's used to it. The gang leader asks where the inside buzzer is located. Sounds like he wants to buzz Bill in and tie him up too. Oh, brother. You tell him it's just outside the doorway, before the big door. He steps outside to look for it. You hear him walking back and forth, his rubber-soled shoes squeaking ever so slightly on the industrial linoleum floors. You don't hear the indoor buzzer sound, but the one outside the vault, the one Bill is pushing, sounds once more. The robber comes storming back in. There's frantic whispering among the men. Your heart is slamming inside your chest, but you close your eyes and breathe. One of the robbers keeps working on the strongbox, pulling out a small saw and going at the padlock. The leader tells the gang to wait. They'll count to 60, and if the buzzer doesn't sound again, they'll make a run for it. Everyone is silent. The time ticks by. Then the leader speaks. He tells his boys to wrap it up. Leave the box they can't open. It's too big. They grab their bags, gingerly open the vault door, look both ways, and then scurry away. You let out a long exhale. Another cashier asks if everyone is okay. You all murmur affirmative replies. One of the messengers rolls over to you, and you're now back to back. Wordlessly, with just grunts to communicate, you untie each other. You both quickly rip the tape from your mouths and then make quick work of freeing your coworkers. Then one of the messengers runs over to the phone and calls the cops. It's going to be a long night.
Damn right.
So, in the span of about a half an hour, the gang loaded more than half a ton of currency and financial instruments into the bags, carried them out to the waiting truck, and then drove away into the Boston night.
1,000 pounds of cash.
1,000 pounds of cash. So they drove to a prearranged safe house where they unloaded the bags and divided a portion of the loot. And according to later testimony, each member received about $100,000 as an initial share.
Initial share.
And that's like $1.4 million today.
Oof.
A whole
I'll
haul.
take it.
So yeah, 1950, 100,000. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
The whole haul of 2.775 million then is like 38 million today.
Damn,
Yeah,
son.
serious money. So they had already agreed that any traceable...
So missing out on that 1 million was a big time miss.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking
yes,
with
seriously.
those rates.
Oh, yeah. That's so like whatever half 38 is. All right. So they'd already agreed that any traceable checks and securities would be held or destroyed.
Okay.
And then they made another agreement. They weren't going to touch the money for 6 years.
That's super smart.
That's the statute of limitations in Massachusetts for armed robbery.
Very, very
So if they
smart.
make it through the 6 years, then they can't be prosecuted for the crime.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
and also, I mean, the problem often with a crew that big is that one of them goes out and spends something and then they all get caught.
Yeah.
So one person's Cadillac purchase ruins everybody.
We've seen it.
So coming up with that 6-year window is great
6 year.
for all of them.
Yeah, yeah. It was a clean run except for the buzzer thing with the garage man.
Yeah.
And then there was some other stuff. They left some things behind. One of them dropped their chauffeur's cap.
Okay.
There was the rope that they used to bind the employees and then the adhesive tape that they put on their mouths.
But they don't have like DNA evidence then.
Well, that's the
so
thing
it's
is like today that would be curtains for them
Yeah.
because of touch DNA, DNA and databases of like rope and tape and all that stuff. But back in 1950, these are just like meager traces for the authorities to hold on to.
Yeah.
So the response by law enforcement was immediate and massive. Like
How
the
so?
front page coverage
Yeah.
in the papers was crazy. But the police, like the police commissioner in Boston issued a mobilization order to all precinct captains and detectives like within the minutes of getting the call. Because they knew like the Brink's cashiers could tell how much was taken.
Yeah.
And so they knew the magnitude of this. The Boston police superintendent looked through the emptied vault and was like, saw the methodical nature of everything. And he told reporters he had no doubt it was an inside job.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And he figured that like they had the blueprints, they must have had rehearsals, had to be an inside job. So within hours, 13 people were detained for questioning.
All from Brinks.
Well, including 2 former Brinks employees.
Okay.
Both were quickly exonerated. And
Oh,
the
so
more,
it's more of like the usual suspects and then a couple people.
Exactly.
Okay.
The more they, looked into it, they realized the inside job theory was wrong, as we know.
Yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI,
Right.
personally took over supervision of the case. It was so huge.
There must have been a lot of media.
Yeah, there was. The FBI, Massachusetts State Police, Boston Police Department, they all launched what would become one of the most intensive investigations in American law enforcement history. Over the course of the following months and years, investigators would interview more than 1,000 suspects, interrogate virtually every known criminal in Boston, and then follow leads in cities like across the United States and beyond.
So they're going out to Detroit and talking to the Purple Gang, whatever's left of them.
The Purple Gang they go after. So the physical evidence discovered outside the vault was like frustratingly thin. February 5th, 1950, a Somerville police officer discovered 2 of the 4 revolvers that the robbers had taken from the Brink's employees in the vault, discarded near the Mystic River.
Oh, right.
And he didn't realize it. He just found these guns and entered in the serial numbers in the database. And then when it went on to the wire, then someone in Boston was like, oh, hold on. Those are
what
ours.
Are those numbers again? Yeah,
exactly. March 4th, 1950, pieces of the stolen 1949 Ford truck were found at a dump in Stoughton, Massachusetts.
Pieces of the truck.
Pieces. An acetylene torch and a sledgehammer had been used to dismantle it. Damn. So the engine block was smashed. The body panels cut apart. So they finding the remains, though, because they had like witnesses who saw a truck speeding away.
Yeah.
They figured, okay, so now we know it's like in this area, right? But see, they kind of threw them off by putting it in Stoughton and then not where they really were.
Yeah.
Some canvas money bags were found discarded in a Boston junkyard.
Okay.
But none of these like pointed to an individual. So the initial suspect list compiled by investigators numbered 93 people. 93 suspects.
That's the initial list.
By spring of 1950, they narrowed it to 88.
Okay.
By 1953, it stood at 44. 3 years down the line. Tips came in from the public, from the underworld. Most of them are totally useless.
The young Malcolm X was on the list.
Yeah. Totally. An anonymous caller on the 2nd anniversary of the robbery claimed to know the truth. Seems a man in New Jersey was reported to be spending lavishly. They investigated, eliminated. The Purple Gang, as you said, they were under scrutiny, but then they got ruled out. Other Prohibition-era bootlegging gangs were looked into, similarly cleared. Meanwhile, the FBI encountered a wall of silence from the Boston underworld, which isn't much of a surprise, but see, there are always rats.
Exactly. Or somebody who needs to, like, get out of something or maybe do a favor because,
I heard a thing,
they
the
got
streets
pinched.
are saying. Yeah, no. So the criminal sources were, like, uniformly unhelpful, even the ones who had always been helpful before. One suspect told agents, quote, "If I knew who pulled the job, I wouldn't be talking to you now because I'd be too busy trying to figure out a way to lay my hands on some of the loot." So, he's honest. So the investigation continued with like little to no momentum.
The criminal of that statement is so amazing.
It's so good.
I'm trying to get my fingers on it. I already got agendas.
Let's take a break. And when we return, we're going to join them and see how they're coming along.
Yeah.
All right, Zaron.
Yes.
All right, so here we are. The Great Brink's Robbery is
I'm waiting for
called.
like a young Ted Kennedy to get called into this.
He's suspect
wild
number
card.
12.
Yeah.
So
he's the wheelman.
November of 1952. I'm going to act like I didn't hear that. A federal grand jury convened to hear evidence in the case. Jurors didn't think there was sufficient evidence to identify the robbers definitively, so no indictments were returned. I mean, they were just throwing whatever stuck.
Totally. Darts at the wall.
The FBI is like, we're not giving up. They put pressure on the suspects through surveillance. Remember, there's like 44 suspects at this point. Questioning.
That's a lot of man hours.
Right? Tax investigations. They had like some peripheral results. Jazz Maffey, Adolph Jazz Maffey, he got convicted of income tax evasion in June of 1954 and did 9 months at the Federal Correctional Institute in Danbury, Connecticut, because he couldn't explain his income.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough to like legally tie him to the robbery.
Yeah.
In the spring of 1956, the Massachusetts legislature, spurred in part by the still unresolved case, They raised the state statute of limitations for armed robbery from 6 to 10 years.
They bought themselves a deadline.
They bumped it out.
They're like, okay, here we go.
Congress did the same with a federal statute.
These guys basically changed laws.
They did.
Essentially, this crew.
Yes.
Or, they motivated law changes.
And their deadline is like getting further and further away. So while investigators worked from the outside, the seeds of the gang's destruction were germinating from within, let's say.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the agreement to sit on the money lasted only as long as the trust and the money held out, which is to say not long. In June of 1950, just 5 months after the robbery, Specs O'Keefe and Stanley Gusciora, they got arrested in Pennsylvania for an unrelated burglary.
Well, they still got to work.
Well, apparently the $100,000 wasn't enough, but again, they can't touch it for 6 years.
Yeah.
So Specs O'Keefe gets sentenced to 3 years in Bradford County Jail. Gusciora received a much harsher 5 to 20 years in the Western State Penitentiary in Pittsburgh.
Oof.
So both pleaded total ignorance of the Brink's case when FBI agents came to see him in prison.
Okay.
But from behind bars, both of them were demanding money from the rest of the gang to fund their legal defenses.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So according to underworld informants, O'Keefe and Gusciora pressed Pino, McGinnis, Maffey, Jazz Maffey, and Baker to kick in money. Most of Specs O'Keefe's share of the Brink's loot was already exhausted on legal fees.
Are you that much on legal fees back then?
A good portion of it.
He must have got some real good lawyers.
I guess, but not good enough to get him out of it.
Yeah.
So after O'Keefe was released from his Pennsylvania sentence, he was immediately entangled in further legal troubles because he had a separate burglary charge and he had parole violations. So he finds himself back in custody. They release him on $17,000 bail, and that ate more into his resources.
Man, he should go to Canada.
He's just bitter at this point.
I bet he is.
He's so mad at everyone else who's just sitting pretty. So he thought, with some justification, that everybody else, they were spending their money while stonewalling his requests for financial assistance. So he starts writing these threatening letters to the rest of the gang from prison. And he makes veiled and not so veiled hints that he might talk to authorities. And the gang, they took these threats seriously. Fats Pino is reported to have arranged for a contract killer named Elmer Trigger Burke.
A contract killer named Trigger?
Trigger Burke.
Yes.
A New York professional hitman to be brought to Boston to get rid of O'Keefe.
When you say brought, does he mean go out there and get arrested and get put inside, or just we'll figure out a way?
He's out. This is when O'Keefe was out on bail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Burke goes from New York to Boston, shoots O'Keefe in an ambush. O'Keefe was seriously wounded but survived.
Oh, Trigger, you're not good at your job.
And then Trigger Burke gets subsequently arrested for an unrelated murder. So he's out of the picture.
He's got other work.
Yeah. So the FBI approached Specs O'Keefe when he's in the hospital. After years of resentment, this financial desperation, this near-death experience of an assassination attempt, O'Keefe made a decision. On January 6th, 1956, now hold on, let's look at this date. So they robbed the place January 17th, 1950. This is January 6th, 1956.
Yeah, their initial 6-year promise is about to be up.
Yes. He told the FBI agents who visited him, quote, "All right, what do you want to know?" Wow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, you can't blame him. He just got
tried to kill
by
him.
a contract killer, and he has to know that these are the guys trying to rub me out. This was not just
they'll get away with it. They'll follow through.
This wasn't I want your gold watch.
Right. So over the following days, O'Keefe just sang. He gave investigators an absolutely comprehensive account of the robbery. He spilled all of it about the planning, the participants, the execution, the aftermath. He named every member of the crew and described in detail their role in what happened. He made it clear that while Fats Pino conceived of the robbery and organized the surveillance, it was McGinnis who was the true operational mastermind.
I got you.
He was the man who directed the crew. He did the logistics. He took responsibility for eliminating incriminating evidence after the fact. He's the one who destroyed the guns, the getaway truck, the clothing.
Yeah, the true mastermind.
Yeah. The case that had defied law enforcement for nearly 6 years was like suddenly cracked open.
Yeah, there's more than the Rosetta Stone. He gave him the map, the Rosetta Stone, a magnifying glass.
Exactly. On January 11th, 1956, a Massachusetts state grand jury issued indictments for 11 men connected to the robbery. Next day, on January 12th, just 5 days before that statute of limitations would have expired, FBI agents arrested 6 of the suspects simultaneously.
Oh, nice.
Baker, Costa, Geegan, Maffey, McGinnis, and Pino.
Well, it was like 4 a.m. raids.
Yeah, totally. First thing in the morning. 2 members of the gang, James Faraday, James Ignatius, and Sandy Richardson, they had seen the arrest coming. And so they went into hiding.
Smart.
They were put on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. FBI eventually tracked them to this apartment in Dorchester, Massachusetts.
That is not far enough.
No, where they had been hiding for 8 weeks.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Well, May 16th, this is when they get busted. Plainclothes agents burst through the front door, taken by surprise. The Boston Globe reported that behind these heavily curtained windows, the 2 men had, quote, lived 8 weeks of tedium, boredom, and frustration, broken only when their confederate sneaked in with groceries and liquor.
Wow. So they're just in there getting liquored up, playing chess, and listening to the radio.
Listen to the radio.
For
That's it.
8 weeks.
Exactly.
They must have hated each other's company by then.
Oh, man. Totally. So O'Keefe, he pleaded guilty January 18th, 1956. Almost 6 years and a day.
Yeah.
Stanley Guiscura, he was already in custody in Pennsylvania.
I love how many times they get busted before they get busted.
He got extradited to Massachusetts, but he died on July 9th, 1956 from a brain tumor before he could stand trial.
Whoa.
He was young. Joseph Banfield had already died of natural causes in January of 1955.
Natural causes?
At the age of 45. I think he probably had a heart attack.
Okay.
The trial of the remaining 8 defendants began on August 6, 1956, before Judge Felix Forte. It went until October 5th, 1956, so from August to October, when a jury deliberated for just 3.5 hours before returning a verdict of guilty against all 8.
I bet.
October 9th, 1956, Judge Forte sentenced all 8 of them to the maximum: life imprisonment for robbery, 2 years for conspiracy to steal, and 8 to 10 years for breaking and entering at night.
Damn.
McGinnis, who had not been physically present in the building during the robbery, he's the mastermind.
Yeah, the true mastermind.
He received a life sentence as an accessory before the fact. And then he also got the other 3 concurrent sentences.
Okay.
O'Keefe, Specs, in recognition for his cooperation, he got a sentence of 4 years and got out in 1960. He later collaborated with this writer, Bob Considine, on a 1961 book, The Men Who Robbed Brinks.
Okay.
All future appeals by all of them were rejected.
Really?
Yeah. Of the $2,775,395.12 stolen on the night of January 17th,
Not the 12 cents.
Only about $58,000 was ever recovered.
Whoa! Do you think that they sprinkled it amongst their family, or they spent it on?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. You'll see. So
Okay.
A bulk of the recovery came from this crazy break in June of 1956. This Boston guy named Jordan Perry got caught trying to pass old musty bills in Baltimore. And FBI agents traced the currency to the Brinks robbery. They found that Perry had been given the bills by this Boston man named John Fats Bocelli. Another Fats,
Yeah.
Fats 2.0. So Second Fats had offered to pay Perry $5,000 to pass $30,000 of the stolen cash. Agents traced the trail to Fats Bocelli's office in Boston's South End.
So this is all based on the fact their money smelled sus. They're
Yeah.
like, I don't know about this.
Well, they go to Second Fat's office. They tear the place apart. Behind a false wall was a cooler that had more than $57,000 in cash.
Just cooling out.
And 51,000, almost 52,000 of it was confirmed to be Brink's loot. So it was just all musty in there, and that's why. So the fate of the remaining $2.7 million was never definitively established. There's this author, Stephanie Shoro, who wrote The Crime of the Century: How the Brinks Robbers Stole Millions and the Hearts of Boston. And she figures that the most likely explanation is that they spent it.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, and they used it quietly, slowly, and on things that left no traceable records. So like gambling, drinking, legal fees,
high living,
failed
and lawyers.
investments.
Okay.
Yeah. So Anthony Fats Pino, the originator, he was released on parole in 1970. He died in October of 1973 at the age of 67. Joseph Big Joe McGinnis, the mastermind, he died in prison at Walpole State Prison, October 5th, 1966.
Died in prison.
Yeah. Specs O'Keefe, the informant, got released, as I said, in 1960. He died in March of 1976 at the age of 67.
Now, when Specs got released, do you know anything about, like, if he, like, got back into his community, or did he have to leave Boston? I mean, like,
did
he die in the area?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he went. I don't know what he did.
I was just wondering because he snitched.
I would imagine he got out. I'd imagine he moved far, far away.
Okay.
What's interesting is a lot of the cashiers from the Brinks vault, they moved far away.
Because it's because they were suspected?
Well, no, it was just too upsetting.
Oh, too traumatic.
And so, like, when they had to testify, one came from California, one came from Florida.
Oh,
yeah.
They really moved out.
Moved,
They didn't just go to, like, oh, I'm out here in whatever town.
Right, yeah. They were like, I'm out. Stanley Gusciora, the enforcer, he was the one who was extradited to Massachusetts. He never stood trial because of that brain tumor. He was 37 when he died. He maintained his innocence to the end, and he was like mad about O'Keefe and the confessions, and he was just maybe that's what took him.
Yeah.
Henry Baker, the veteran criminal, died at Walpole in 1961 at the age of 54.
So a couple of them died at Walpole. Wow.
During the trial, Baker challenged Specs O'Keefe's credibility in a petition to the court. He said O'Keefe was, quote, a drug addict, a chronic liar, and one who liked to exhibit himself in the nude.
Threw that one in there.
Threw that one in there. Plus, he's a nudist.
He air-bathed, like Ben Franklin. So,
Vincent James Costa, the lookout, he got released on parole in 1969. In 1985, he got arrested again on charges of cocaine trafficking. In 1988, he got divorced, and he testified in the divorce proceedings that his share of the Brinks money had amounted to about $100,000, but that his son had cheated him out of most of it.
He
copped to the fact that he used some of the money to purchase a piece of land in November of 1950 on which he built a house.
I was curious about that and land speculation. All right.
Yeah. So he bought some land, built a house, but he didn't have to worry about admitting it now. Statute of limitations is up.
And you said 1988. I mean, that's wow.
Yeah. Michael Vincent Vinnie Geegan, the parolee, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, but was paroled in December 1969. After the trial, he disputed O'Keefe's characterization of McGinnis as the mastermind.
Oh. And
he was like, no, you know what? Fats Pino was the true leader of the gang. And I'll go down saying that. And Pino's like, Ixnay.
No, you're not helping me, bro.
James Ignatius Faraday, the fugitive. He was released on parole in December of 1969. Thomas Francis Sandy Richardson, the co-fugitive, he was paroled in December 1969, and he died in 1980 at the age of 73.
So they all got out just in time to get mad at the hippies.
Yes, exactly. Then there's Joseph Sylvester Barney Banfield, the driver.
Oh, yeah.
He died of natural causes in January 1955, and
also young.
Was only he was one of only two gang members never formally charged.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then there's Adolph Jazz Maffey, the last survivor.
Please, what happened to Jazz?
He was released on parole December 1969, like the rest of them. Okay. He was the last surviving member of the gang. He died in September of 1988 at the age of 77.
Wow.
Outliving all of his co-conspirators.
So Jazz was the longest living.
Yep.
Interesting.
So the robbery inspired 4 films. 6 Bridges to Cross in 1955.
Okay.
Blueprint for Robbery in 1961. Brinks, The Great Robbery in 1976.
Do we know if any of these were like hits or had stars or anything?
No.
Okay.
And William Friedkin's acclaimed The Brinks Job in 1978.
So it really wasn't at all connected to the killing, which came out, I think, like 56 or 58, something like
There's
that.
a bunch of books. Joseph Dineen's Anatomy of a Crime, which is the basis of 6 Bridges to Cross. And O'Keefe's own account with Bob Constantine, The Men Who Robbed Brinks. The robbery remains, like in the annals of American crime, an almost unparalleled example of meticulous long-term planning And it was brought down not by detective work or forensic science or informants developed through investigation, but by the oldest weakness in the criminal enterprise, the inability of greedy men to trust one another.
Totally. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know if he was like a junkie or whatever, but like basically apparently a drug addict who the FBI leaned on when he was in his hospital bed.
A nudist.
And then they're
nudist.
Like, this worked on Billie Holiday. This might work on you.
Exactly, probably. So Zaron, what's your ridiculous takeaway?
I kept listening to hear how these guys would end up on this show because they did not fit the mold. I was like, this is really incredible. It must have been just like a stroke of luck, like a child walked into a room and happened to find something. But it turns out
Specs O'Keefe.
Specs was just like, you know what, I'm kind of a punk. I don't know to tell y'all.
Basically.
That's wild.
Isn't that nuts?
Well, Elizabeth, what is your ridiculous takeaway?
I was so shocked at the level of planning unraveling because of human foibles.
Yeah, the years of doing like let's run it again, guys. Let's run it one more time. First positions. Let's take it from the top.
And it's like they couldn't just sit and wait the 6 years for the money. So they're doing crimes leading up to that. I mean, that's if they had just sat still. Also,
I mean, not to have an extra ridiculous takeaway, but they got to the point where they were going to, bring in the gunman, the trigger man, what was Trigger, from New York to like rub out Specs. Yeah. But I think they should have had that up top, which is if anybody talks, we're going to take it out on you and your family. Right. So that way that fear of God and fear of violence might have like kept him in line a little bit longer.
Yeah, but you'll note not a single one of them waited the 6 years to touch the money.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think any of them would.
No, they couldn't. Imagine if someone was like, here's 1.3 million or whatever.
I can make that 6 years go singing past.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have like, determination and discipline.
A level of self-control because I'm thinking I'm going to get a big payday. So this is not just a job. Your job is do not.
But again, think about what one of the common denominators for criminal activity is no impulse control.
Yep, you pointed out all the time.
And you hand them like all this money and you're like, don't touch it.
That's why I didn't make a good criminal. I had too much impulse control and I would get pissed at my Confederates.
There you go.
That's why I always wanted to work alone and I couldn't become like a hitman. There's not a lot of jobs you can do alone.
Oh, I need a talk back. Hold on a second. Dave, how about a talk back?
Talk back. Oh my God, did he just say that?
OMG.
Hi, Zaron, Elizabeth, producer D, and all the interns. This is Tiffany from Waterloo, Iowa, and I want you to close your eyes and picture it. ridiculouscrime.com, whatever you have won recently, because you are such an award-winning website, merch that says, Rude Dude supporter of the Hi Daddy and Lady Host.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's good.
That
Hi
good.
Daddy and Lady Host.
And we've been meaning to update.
You have a name now.
We've been meaning to update the merch, so that goes to the top of the list.
Yes, Hi Daddy and Lady Host. All right, we're on it. Yeah. We'll get our design team.
Make a note, design team. Interns who can draw.
Interns, get to it. That's it for today. You can find us online at ridiculouscrime.com. We're also at Ridiculous Crime on both Blue Sky and Instagram. We're on YouTube at Ridiculous Crime Pod. Email us at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Leave a talk back like that awesome one on the iHeart app. Reach out. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by Dave Kustin, a.k.a. the Grand Poobah. Starring Annalise Rutger as Judith? Research is by Marissa Yacht Rock Brown and Jabari Electropop Davis. The theme song is by Thomas Hair Metal Lee and Travis Delta Blues Dutton. Host wardrobe is provided by Botany 500. Dave Kustin's wardrobe is by Mr. Guy of Beverly Hills. Guest hair and makeup by Sparkle Shot and Mr. Andre. Executive producers are Ben Adult Standards Bolin and Noel Rockabilly Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.